with us now from the Senior Daybreak program, our program director, Cmgus Vcr, Daybreak client, Lila Ryken, and client family member, Jane Gary. Welcome to Extra, ladies.
Hello.
Well, Cindy, tell us about the Senior Day Care program, or Day Center. What am I saying? Senior
Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Senior Daybreak
Boy, oh boy.
is an adult daycare program.
Okay.
It's a safe place for adults to come and spend some daytime hours. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And it's a place where folks can go to have fun, to have some structure to their day, some plan, to have good food and fellowship with their friends.
Now, when we talk about seniors, are we talking about just anybody that fits into that category? Are we talking about seniors who need assistance? What kind of people are we talking about?
Generally, the individuals are older, but not necessarily always way old. Our youngest client was actually 42 years old. Our oldest client has been 97 years old.
Oh my.
So there's a 50-year age span there that makes for a big, big difference. These are people that have the thing in common of lonesomeness and needing to spend some time with others.
Sure.
Needing a little more structure to their day than just staying at home.
Yeah.
Needing some support.
The television gets boring after a while,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
the four
Well,
walls.
Lila, tell us, what do you do there? Is it a good time?
Most of the time, it is good time.
Tell me
We
about
play
some of
cards.
yeah.
We have exercise. We have a good meal at noon. And we have medical. We have the nurse to order our medicine if we need it, or if we have to go to a doctor. They make preparations for that.
So you don't have
But
to
in
worry.
general, it's something to do is to be with other people.
Do you
all
ha-
kinds of people, all ages, no. Well, most of them are all quite elderly, but not that old.
But people that you can become friends with, have you become good friends with those people?
Oh, yes. I know most of them. I think I can name most of them.
Neat. That's great. Do you go every day?
Monday through Friday.
And how do you get to and from?
Charter bus.
Okay.
I leave at 7:45. I get up at 5, leave at 7:45, and come home about 5:30, between 5 and 5:30.
So it's probably almost home away from home for you, isn't it?
It makes a long day.
Does
It
it?
really does.
Do you get to take a nap there if you need to?
Once in a while, if we can sneak it in.
Sure.
We have lounge chairs, and they have a Davenport or places to where anyone that needs to lie down can.
Are you married?
Oh, I've been married twice. I have 4 boys and 1 girl. They're all married. The only one living here is my daughter. She lives out by the Ramco Inn.
Oh.
Fellinger. Her name is Mavis, and his is Arden Fellinger. He works on the telephone.
So do
puts
they both
telephones
work?
in.
Do they both work?
She has a daycare.
Okay.
She and her daughter have a daycare where they have quite a few children.
Okay. So
And he's works the telephone.
what about you, Jane? Your father's involved in the program.
Yes, he is.
Tell us what the situation is with you.
My father had 2 strokes, and he was in a nursing home in Florida. And it wasn't a very pleasant place to visit, so I decided to bring him up to South Dakota and found Senior Daybreak and thought it was a wonderful alternative to being in a nursing home, because he wasn't bad enough that he needed to be in a nursing home, but he wasn't good enough to stay by himself either. And he had stayed by himself after the first stroke with a home care person with him for 24 hours a day, but it wasn't near the quality that he's getting at Senior Daybreak.
And that's probably pretty expensive too, isn't it?
Yes, it's very expensive.
Now, why did he happen to be down in Florida?
He lived there for 35 years.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I took him out of the sun and brought him up to the snow.
How does he like that?
He doesn't seem to mind it yet, but then he's only been here since April, so
he hasn't
hit the
seen
snow
one yet, right. What kind of things does he do that he enjoys?
They exercise, and they go out to museums, to the zoo. They had fish at Drake Springs. They could catch trout. They went on a drive out in the country last week to see the fall leaves. And he never did any of that at home. He didn't go out much, didn't see many people, and now he's involved in all kinds of things.
That's great. Getting more opportunity than he would if he were even with a home nurse.
Yes, he is. Very much so. And he's around people his own age, and he can visit and talk to, and Senior Daybreak arranges for transportation to his doctor's appointments and gets his hair cut. They'll cut his toenails, his fingernails. It's just wonderful.
That is great.
Yes.
Oh, that's really neat. And I noticed, Lila, your makeup looks lovely. Do you do your own?
Every morning.
It looks very lovely.
My daughter sells Amway. That's what I use.
Well, it looks good on you. Cindy, what kind of a setup program is it? Say if somebody has a loved one or a friend that they think maybe needs some extra activity during the day, does it cost and how do they get involved? Give us the lowdown.
We welcome people to call and inquire or to stop by. It's always easier to do it by appointment so that we can be sure to have the time to devote to that individual, to give them a tour and the information that they need so that they can think about adult daycare as an option out there to offer support so they can remain in their own home or a home-like setting versus an institutional setting. The enrollment process takes some time just to get acquainted and kind of check us out. We check that individual out and get acquainted and
I'm sure you probably have to see what medical care they might need and on an individual basis.
Yes, that's right. We talk about a number of things from the medical care, the situation there, as far as what the family is really hoping that we can do. Why is this person coming
If they
here?
have unattainable expectations, probably, huh?
Oh, that sometimes enters into it also. Each person it's very individualized, and that's part of the strength of adult daycare is that we're flexible and creative, and hope to meet the individual's needs, and somehow come to some working relationship in that direction to make some improvement in their life.
A better quality of life.
That's right.
And what about the fee? Is there like a sliding scale, or how does that work?
Adult daycare ought to be very affordable for individuals. We are funded in ways that allow us to offer a donation fee, and it's based again upon a person's income, and they pay on their ability to pay. And if we don't turn persons away for lack of having money to pay to come to adult daycare.
What about the transportation to and from? I know there are some areas that are further away from the center than others.
Yeah, that's right. Most of the clients will transport in two systems, or three maybe. One with family members that want to transport them themselves. Another way might be with the Sioux Falls paratransit system, particularly if they utilize a wheelchair for mobility. That's an easy, accessible way to transport and fairly affordable. Another way is a system that we offer called our charter bus system, and that also too is just a part of the adult daycare that we can offer for the clients to come in that live within the limits of Sioux Falls. This wouldn't include outside of the city limits.
Okay. But people from outside the city limits are able to take advantage of the center?
If they want to
If
come
they
on
can
their
get
own,
the
with their own
transportation.
transportation, right.
What about in the winter when we have what Jean's dad doesn't know yet, but the tough winter weather, how do we get to and from?
Same way.
Yeah, just like everybody else does, huh?
Yeah, the buses continue to move, and rarely are we closed because of bad weather.
Well, that's great. What do you think, Lila, it would be like if you didn't have the Senior Daybreak program?
Well, it would be boring, very lonesome. Another thing that we didn't talk about, once a month, the first Wednesday or Thursday of every month, we go out to eat and shop. We don't eat at the center. We go out to eat and shop, and we like that.
So are you a big buyer? Are you a big
No,
shopper?
I don't shop any more than I have to, but I always have something to get.
Some birthday or some
Yes,
holiday
and I've had a
coming up?
lot of them in September, and I got a lot of them coming up.
So you better save up that bankroll, huh? You got a lot of shopping to do.
Yeah.
So Jane, tell me, has your father given you a response as far as does he enjoy it? I know you know. I mean, it's good for him. It seems they take good care of him. What is his response?
He enjoys it. He's had 2 strokes which have affected his memory, so at times he may not remember that he goes there, but when he does, yes, he enjoys being with the people and being involved in activities because he didn't do much of that before, and it's improved his health a tremendous amount.
You can see a difference?
Yes, he has emphysema, and he was on a lot of medication for that when he came up here. and he is not on any medication for it anymore because he exercises and he gets up and down
Wow.
and does things, and it's just improved his lungs to the point where he didn't need the
Wow.
medication anymore.
That's phenomenal. As a family member and being able to see your father improve when a lot of times we think as they get older they don't improve. You know, it's probably a bad thing to think. But what is it? And you work, is
Yes.
that correct?
Mhm.
So you can't be with him every day.
No.
What kind of comfort does that give you as a family member?
Tremendous amount of comfort. Not to have to put him into a nursing home is fantastic, because I'm sure they're nice ones, but if you can avoid it, it's certainly a better alternative not to have to go to one until it's necessary.
Absolutely.
And for us to be able to find an alternative to that was just wonderful.
Cindy, how long has the program been in place?
We're between years 9 and 10, so a while.
And who started it? Was it just one person that decided they'd get a couple of people together?
No, adult daycare to Sioux Falls here started through the Coalition on Aging group that developed the idea and moved with it.
And how many people are involved in the actual program as far as the staff goes? Is it pretty big?
Well, we have about 40 clients overall. That isn't all at one time, though. We keep a staff ratio of 1 to 6. And counting staff, volunteers, support staff, works out really well.
Now, you mentioned that there are medical personnel on hand. What about the people that are just the general staff? Are they trained in caring for the elderly?
In addition to the nurse that is at adult daycare, the staff receives in-servicing and so forth for medical emergencies, CPR, that sort of thing. We're an adult daycare like ours is fashioned under a social model. And so it's for social reasons that people are there, and that's where the staff training is in activities and fun things for older persons.
Tell me, Lila, you say you like the exercise and you like the activities. What are you best at? What's your good exercise?
Not exercise.
Sitting down, that's a good one, huh?
Playing cards. Well, not only that, I like to walk around upstairs and the time we spend together when we eat our mealtime.
Who cooks?
The
A good chef, huh?
The kitchen downstairs, I don't know who
And
the
they-
cooks are, but they're pretty good.
They're good. You'd recommend the meals there, huh?
Most of them are pretty good. Sometimes they aren't as good as others, but then,
But neither are ours, right? When we cook at home, sometimes we get a little off.
like today, they had liver and onions. Well, I don't like that, so I had meatloaf.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cindy, what if somebody, we were talking in the first segment about volunteering. It sounds like a fun place to be, a lot of neat people.
Yes.
Is there an opportunity for people if they want to give an hour or two of their time a day?
Absolutely. We would welcome volunteers and almost always need volunteers to help us make the program better than what it even is.
Sure, and a good group of people to work with. There's a number up on your screen if you need more information about a loved one going to the program or volunteering. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for Extra for this week. Be sure to be with us next week when we'll have an encore visit from retired Chief Federal District Judge Miles Lord. Thanks for joining us today.